Here we go. Good morning, everyone. Good evening to Richard. Welcome to MSM and UNBC Agent Training Session Live 2021. I hope that this session will certainly add value to your knowledge and experience for UNBC. I am handing over to Richard to please take the webinar forward from here. I just don't want to make the whole thing, the whole introduction again and again, the same lines. So that is why I'm handing over to Richard because he's going to give you really good updates for all your students recruitment and making it very, very simple and easy for UNBC. So yes, Richard, over to you.
Thank you for putting me on the spot there, Dashita. That's always fun. But yes, thank you for joining us today. And we appreciate that you took time today to join us, even though the second wave has hit India very hard. We do feel sorry, and we hope that there's something that we can help you with. I hope that this webinar will help you guys in terms of when the pandemic lessens and students are able to move again, we'll be able to get more results for everybody. So that's the point of this webinar. I'm not going to go through our regular presentation because this is just an update. I wanted to share with you a few things that since we talked last, the people that have attended my webinar in the past know that I'll go through UNBC, what we have, who we are, but this is an agent update and partner updates for us. So I'm going to give you insights and thoughts about why universities are better than colleges in Canada, immigration stuff, and also updates for admissions. So the agent agenda that we're going to go through today, the takeaways that I want you to have for this webinar is the admission update for 2021, the new English proficiency waiver, why study at Canadian universities is better, and the ICCRC points and scores and data. So something that will help you when you benefit, and then you can explain this to your clients and your students and parents and whatnot. So we're gonna go why UNBC. As you've seen, this is one of my favorite pictures of UNBC. Love the fall, but right now it's very raining outside, so it doesn't look as nice. And we're transitioning from winter to spring, so it's kind of mucky outside right now. We're going to talk about the type of university we are. How I explained before, we are a research-intensive university, which means that we offer PhD, master's, research-based mostly, undergraduate, and we're in the same category as UBC, Simon Fraser, UVic, and there's us, which is the smallest and the youngest of the 4 research universities in British Columbia. The rest of them you can go through. I know this presentation is recorded, but just a few highlights of UNBC. We have roughly about 3,500 students. We've been top 5 in Canada for the last 15 years under primary undergraduate, top 5% in the world. We have students from over 65 countries, actually. Prince George is home to 299 days of sunshine. I said it's mucky outside right now because we've had 3 weeks of pure sunshine and we need a lot of rain to water the grass to keep them green. Canada is also one of the safest countries in the world. We have a faculty to student ratio of 1:8. I'll prove that Canada is one of the safest countries in the world. USA News even said that Canada is the #1 country in the world. That's a USA News article or journal or magazine that's saying that Canada is better. So when you see that, you kind of question, do we want to send our students to US or Canada or Australia? So USA News says that we are the best, but we'll let you guys decide. You guys are here because you want to hear about UNBC and the agent partner update. So here we go. So with the cancellation of board exams, we are providing an update of the September 2021 intake. For undergraduate students who are coming in with high school marks from the CBSE, Indian ISC, we will accept the grade 12 secondary school mark. That is what we'll make the final decision on. Currently, right now, we will use the midterm transcript or midterm grades to admit the students, but we still require official transcript when the students arrive or before the student comes, okay? Before you guys ask questions, if you do have questions, fill out in the chat box and the Q&A. I'm happy to answer them at the end. We'll have lots of time for that. So right now for September 2021, there are still a lot of general entry program seats available. So general entry programs, at least 55% overall, no core less than 50. Now, just a reminder, we are accepting students who are interested in science, commerce. If they don't have math, they don't have biology or chemistry or physics, they can do these first year courses at UMBC. They'll be admitted into the program, but there will be conditions saying that they have to complete these courses at UMBC within the first academic year. So within the first 2 semesters at UMBC, okay? So starting September, we'll have these courses available. A quick reminder, a recap of what our general entry programs are. These are our general entry programs: accounting, finance, general business, human resource, international business, management, and marketing information. Those do require math, but you can be admitted if you do not have Math 12. You just need to complete them at UMBC in the first year, okay? We also have science as part of our general entry requirements. So we are accepting students in biology, chemistry, computer science, conservation science, planning. So these are all general entry programs. If you guys have any questions or unsure about which programs are general entry, feel free to reach out to MSM. Our team India will be able to assist you with that and let you guys know, okay? Now, we're gonna talk about the new English waiver, English requirements. So IELTS and TOEFL are not required at the time of admission. This only applies to CBSE and ISC students. They have to meet a minimum score. They must have a letter from the school to be submitted at the time of application. It must state that they have completed a minimum of 5 years of English instruction education. So that is in lieu of IELTS. We do understand that IELTS is difficult to take right now. We do also accept Duolingo if the students wish to take Duolingo online, or even IELTS indicator if that's what they wish to do. But if they go through SDS, they need to take IELTS no matter what. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, if the students have this and they have 5 years, and for example, they score less than 6.5 in their IELTS requirement or the IELTS score, SDS only needs 6.0. So you don't give me the IELTS score, you just give me the letter saying that the student has completed 5 years of education in a CBSE board school, so for example, Delhi Public School Education Board or whatnot. So just let me know those, okay? So these are the requirements for students. All ISC core English, 65% or more. If they're in functional English, 70% or higher. If they're ISC students, 65% or better, okay? So that is what they need in order to waive the English requirement, and they need the letter of proof from the school stating that they are a 5-year English education program, okay? Now, we are still accepting application. Our turnaround time right now is 5 to 10 business days, and I talked to our admission officer earlier. They said that they can get this turnaround within 2 days, which means that they still have time to apply, get admissions, and get the offer letter, make the deposit, and then apply for the study permit. Because IRCC just released this news a couple of days ago. If you get your study permit completed by May 15, you will get a decision by August 6th. So which means that you still have time to commit and come to the fall semesters. And that is a great possibility as well. We hope by then the pandemic would have subsided and everybody be vaccinated. We can travel, there's less restriction. That's all we can hope for now. And that's what we're praying for now. So to speed up that process, when they apply and they get an offer letter or offer email, we recommend for students who are applying through SDS, pay the minimum amount of $24,500. That will be equivalent to a first year tuition. If they need a financial letter, ask for it right away. That would help speed up the process, okay? So this is something that we want to make sure that all the agents are aware of, so we can help you to make sure that students will gain admission, okay? Other updates. We're going to talk about why studying at universities in Canada is great and how it differs. So 80% of employers do look at co-ops, internship students as new potential talents and for future employees. UMBC has a co-op program. Undergraduate students, UMBC, we focus on a lot of hands-on experience, and that's part of co-op and internship and service learning. This is why UMBC has that. That's why university is a little bit different from colleges. University graduates earns about $65,000 or more a year. 55% of leaders are liberal arts students. So half of them hold a degree in sciences and humanities. The other one holds social science. So universities do create more leaders than colleges does. Okay. On top of that, the government also provides $13 billion in research and development, $1 billion to help Canadian business, especially incubators. We do have an incubator in Prince George that helps students become entrepreneurs. There's over 1,500 companies and they have university research parks. So we also have a lot of different opportunities for research for non-public sector as well. And that's $1.2 billion. So these are all money that the government does give all public institution, and UMBC, because we're a public research university, have access to multiple, the research development, the research in business, research in non-for-profit. Now, the other big thing about university that's different from colleges is you can do majors, you can do double degrees, you can do a minor, you can do a major and a minor, or double major, which means that you can do, if you want, a 4-year degree in political science, or you can do an outdoor recreational and women's study and have double degrees. So you have 2 degrees from different areas of studies. Or if you want, you can do a marketing and psychology major and minor. So the minor is an optional collection of course where you can study from different areas, and it can help you emphasize marketing, for example. As you guys know, marketing, there's a lot of psychology in it, how you position ads, how you talk to potential audiences, or you can even just do straight out a double major. So you can do this within a 4-year program or a 5-year program. So these are the options, study options at university versus what you can't do at colleges. When you enter a colleges, you enter a program and that's your program. You may be able to switch program, but you have to retake all the courses. Whereas in your university, you don't have to. You can fill your general entry requirements, or you can fill your what they call breadth requirements that helps you gain another degree elsewhere or gain a major elsewhere, a minor elsewhere, okay? Now, also the employment outcomes. Degrees type of jobs, you get consultants, you get management, instructor, professionals, whereas diploma and certificate, you're generally assistant, trades, or administrators. And just looking at the average hourly wage, this is based on Governments Canada, BC labor's markets. The average degree graduate earns about $37 an hour, whereas college graduate earns about $28 an hour. So there's a $10 difference per hour. You might say per hour is not that much, but if you compare that over a lifetime, that could amount to $500,000, right? Depending on the type of jobs you do or what kind of assistant you can get. This is something that was pulled from the Statistics Canada 2016. As you can see, people in Canada with a degree command more salary or higher salary. The average is $80,000. So people with college degree, the average is just under $70,000. And that's in BC as well. BC is a little bit closer, but the average across Canada is if you have a degree, you'll earn more money, okay? Even if you compare that with women, women between the age of 25 to 65, that discrepancy is even bigger. So if you have a degree and you're a female, you have more chance to earn more money versus if you have a college diploma or a apprenticeship or even just a basic high school diploma. So this is a statistic that was done in 2016. We're doing another one in 2021. It might be skewed a little bit because of the pandemic that's happening right now around the world, but I don't see how this result would change much because college people with degrees are generally sought after by employers nowadays. Okay, so the earning potential, like I said, over your lifetime, you could earn more, $500,000 more if you have a university degree versus a college diploma. This is bigger for women than for men, but the average salary is just over $80,000. So that is a big difference. Okay. Also want to talk about the different potential immigration when it comes down to IRCC comprehensive ranking system. If you have a degree or at a university, you get 112 points versus 91 points. Now, you would say 11 points doesn't really make a difference. Well, when you're at 411 versus someone who's at 422, that makes a difference because the average cutoff is roughly about 420 over the last couple of years. Okay. Now, if you don't believe me, take a look at this. The next slide is invitation for express entry students. As you can see by the top link there, that is a 2019 report, and the 2020 report will be coming up soon. As you can see, the students with 2 years post-secondary credential, they lay flat at 5%. But students with 3 or longer years of post-secondary education or credential, they represent a bulk of the express entry students, the PRs and whatnot. Of course, master students and whatnot do get more. We are getting more application, but looking at the difference, there is a big difference. So if your students or your clients are interested in coming to Canada as a permanent resident, we do recommend a degree. It doesn't have to be at UNBC, but if they do want to stay long, they should come and apply for a degree somewhere. Okay. But that's it. Just want to give you guys a quick recap of what UNBC is. We are a research university. The admission updates for 2021 September, we will accept interim grades. We will accept midterm scores in their 12th year right now as the admission. And we will accept that as their final grades, but they still need to provide us the school official transcript when they are here at UNBC. English waiver, CBSE students and ISC students can have the English waivers as long as they meet the minimum score in their 12th year for English. So the CBSE is 65% if they're doing core English. If it's functional English, it's 70%. The ISC is 65%. And I gave you multiple reasons why studying in universities in Canada is great and how it will affect students when they're interested in immigrating, interested in coming with their family and whatnot. So I'm going to take any questions you have now.
Thank you so much, Richard. I believe that it was a very quick but a very effective updates for all of the teams. There were few questions that were being answered by Mehek. Apart from that, if anyone has got any question, please drop in under Q&A. As you know that there are various exceptions that we have been doing to make the process quite simpler for all the students to apply for their September 2021 intake. Scholarships, that's the question.
Yeah, so currently right now we are focusing on scholarships for students who are here at UNBC. The president has allocated more of the entrance scholarship towards the students who are here because they have the needs. And that's one way we are supporting our students who are here, providing them needs-based scholarship. If, for example, we do have students who are having trouble flying home, for example. We had one student that needed to fly home, but she couldn't get back on the repatriation flight. So we provided her a scholarship to get home. Okay. So there will be more scholarships available for students once they arrive at UNBC to help them overcome the difficulty. And the other part is Canada has allowed a lot of these students to work in essential working job greater than 20 hours a week. So this is something that will help them, but make sure you guys keep in mind that the students are here to study, okay? Tuition for undergraduate program, it ranges from anywhere from $22,000 to $27,000, depending on what kind of program you're in. For the general entry program, we're looking at about $24,000. So that is average based on the 30 credits year. which means it's 1 full year, but students can take less, so it really depends on them. Do we accept PET? Yes, we do accept PET. I just forget the marks. Maybe the Shita can answer that one.
Yes, Mehek, please let us know the exact score of PTE.
Yeah, we don't get asked that very often, but when you do, we just rely on Team India to give us the answer.
It is 65% over 65 overall, no component less than 60.
Perfect. It's always good to hear from Mehak. She's always very quiet. Only 12 original document required. Yes, the 12 original document must be from the school, must be sealed. If they're from a CBSE board school, then no, they do not need IELTS, but they do require a letter of support from the school indicating that they have been educated in 5 years English only medium. Okay. They also need to have 65% if they're in core English, functional English, 70%. Yeah. MBA students, we do appreciate you waiting for the MBA scores. As far as I'm aware, most of the decisions have gone out. I'm not sure if you can touch base with Mehak about your application. I will be able to reach back to the MBA director to see why you have not received your decision yet. My understanding was most of the decisions have gone out last week, but we can follow up on it for sure.
Yeah. So, Richard, there are a few decisions still pending, and as we all have an update now that that our agents have to file the study permit before 15th of May, it will be great if some follow up can be taken.
Yeah. So, number of backlogs, we'll let Mehak answer that.
For our master's program, means for MBA, we will be accepting only 5 backlogs, not more than that. And I don't think that for undergrad, students are looking forward for backlogs. But still, if you have backlogs in your grade 12, I believe we can accept 1 or 2 backlogs for that.
Yeah, not more than that.
Not more than that.
Yeah. So the other question is, well, students from India and Pakistan allow travel due to COVID. What measures UMBC is taking towards the same? I'm not sure if I understand that question. But what UMBC is doing is ensuring that students, when they do come here, we are working with the provincial health office to see what are we allowed when they are on campus and what not. The travel restriction is a federal governance, so it's not something that the university have control over. But for whatever reason, if this travel restriction continues, we'll definitely work with our agents and our students abroad to see how we can assist them, or if we can have online classes that they can take while they're there until this travel restriction is lifted. Ultimately, we don't want the students to defer to another semester, because if they're admitted to a competitive program, there is no deferral acceptable. So we want to make sure the students have the option as well. And once you are studying at UMBC and you have your study permits, once this travel restriction is lifted, you can fly in, even though you're still taking courses online. At least you will be in Canada in the same time zone.
So I can see that there are 3 continuous questions as backlogs and gap, which we have already informed. For MBA, we won't be taking more than 5 backlogs, and for graduation and for bachelor's degree, I don't think so. A grade 12 student goes through a backlog, but if any case is there, not more than 1 backlog will be accepted. We need to understand it's a research intensive university, and the students should be prepared according to the courses that are being designed for them. It is not going to be just just few hours of study. They really need to dig in deep in their research after going to the institution, so that they can achieve whatever they have planned for. Minimum IELTS band requirements is 6.5, not less than 6. However, for ICSE and CBSE students, we can do a waiver if we see that their core English, if they have studied their core English for the last 5 years, and we will also look at the percentage of the English in grade 12, and it should be more than 65 to 70 percentage.
So we have a question in the chat box. Is September online or offline? We're planning for online, on campus, not online, on campus, face-to-face instruction for September. But that really depends on the pandemic and what the situation is right now. Canada is not doing great right now either. So we are in a mini lockdown right now as well. So hopefully by then, when we get over 70% of the population vaccinated, then we can have face-to-face. Some US institution has mandated that if you want to come back on campus, you need to have vaccinated. So that really all depends on the provincial health order, and that's something that's out of the university's control. Do we provide quarantine facility on campus? No, we do not. Students would have to quarantine outside of campus if they want to stay in our residence or dormitory. So we do have arrangement with local hotels around us. But remember, the first port of entry, the students enter Canada, they have to do a minimum mandatory 3-day quarantine first, just to make sure that they're aware of that. And they are getting stricter in the testing for the students. So we want to make sure that the students are aware of that. But yeah.
So there's a question, Richard. What is the process for deferment?
So if you students do wish to defer from September to January, they have to let Team India know, and Team India will let our international mission officer know that they wish to defer. They will receive a new letter of offer saying that they will start in January versus September. Students in May right now having to defer to September, they would have to actually reapply because we can only defer within the same academic year. Our academic year actually starts from September till May. That is one academic year. So they can only defer then, and you can only defer once without charge. The second time, there will be a deferral charge.
Okay. Do the university give conditional offers on final results or IELTS or both?
So right now with the CBSE board canceling the board exam, we will take the final school results. Same with the ISC as well. And for IELTS, it really depends. If you're already in the CBSE and you have students who are 65% or more, then you don't have to produce the IELTS. You can produce that and the letter of support. But if you have an amazing IELTS score that's over 6.5, no band less than 6, you can submit that as well. We'll look at whichever one is higher. But if you have lower than 6.5, don't send it to us.
Yeah.
Just going to be honest.
Yeah. Can student complete his or her bachelor degree in fast track mode, like in 3 years? Is it possible?
Yep. I've had student complete in 2.5 years, but they won't save any money because you're paying based on the courses you take. I had a Korean student that finished in 2.5 years, and she has now recently completed a PhD at age 25. So she is a genius, in my opinion.
What about May intake student? When does the online classes start for May?
Students should have already registered for the program or the courses. I believe the May intake classes start on May 10th, but I have to check and verify that with you. Or you can ask Team India and they will be able to give you that answer.
Richard, you are right at your point. It's 10th of May only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I like it when I guess and I'm right.
If the student wants to apply for refund, so how many fees will be deducted? First of all, why would the student would like to apply for the refund? There are various reasons to it. As per the reason, we can decide that how the process goes. But hand it over to Richard. Richard, would you like to highlight anything more on the refund policy?
So the refund policy, we do offer refund, but there is a schedule. So please refer to our refund page and make sure that all the documents are filled out. If the student has a study permit denial, we will offer a full refund minus the administration fee of at least $125, I believe. Yeah. So that is just the administration fee for operating a refund, but otherwise you will get a full refund. But if they wish to refund or move on to the next semester, we're happy to move the deposit on to the next semester as well.
Once the student is accepted, how much does the student will have to pay as the tuition fee deposit? So tuition fee 7,500 is the initial deposit, but we would suggest that as we would like to file our visas quickly before 15th of May, then I believe that we should be submitting 22,000 between 22 to $23,000 so that we submit at least 1 year of fees in the file goes under SDS. So SDS is what I will always recommend for.
Yeah. So we do recommend roughly about 23 to 24,000. The number I put out was 24,500. And if you need clarification on that, please email Team India. We'll be able to help you assist for that. If you need financial letters, we're happy to help produce that as well. But I'm not sure if any banks are open right now for in-person loans. So I'm not sure how that will work.
Is math mandatory for Bachelor's of Commerce course for admissions? Yes, maths is mandatory for most of the programs, but we have got maths upgrader for which you have to pay, of course. That is one of the courses that you will have to pay, and the student has to study and pass that course during the first semester. Would you like to say anything more about the maths upgrader, Richard?
Nope, the math upgrader can be counted towards one of your breadth requirements as well. So you're not losing any money or you're not taking additional course. It is part of your regular courses that you need to take for the math upgrader. And you just need to be able to complete that program, pass that program within the first academic year of your studies here at UMBC.
Do we have co-ops?
Yes, we do have co-ops for a majority of our programs, business, commerce, science. What else was there? Computer science, we have co-ops. And if you attended one of our previous webinar, you had went through our co-op presentation to showcase where the students have been getting employment. They have been getting employment at places like EA, government agencies in Canada, a lot of lumber mills and timber mills around here. We had environmental, we had Stem Cells Canada, for example. So this is all the co-op opportunities that are available. And we do have a website available for students if they are interested in co-op. That shows exactly the steps they need to take and what is required to be part of the co-op program.
What is the application deadline? I don't think
well, according to IRCC, it's May 15th. So we want to make sure that they are able to get the visa ahead of time. So if they apply, the sooner the better, because there is a rush to get the study permit in right now. If you send us the application in, I'm sure Mehak and Dashita will work tirelessly to get it on the books. But you need to provide us a complete application, meaning that they need to have scanned documents, intern transcripts, letter of support if they're doing CBSB board waiver, and yeah.
Is IELTS waiver for state board students as well?
Right now it's for CBSE and ISC students, not for any Punjab boards or any of the local provincial boards.
That is it. Otherwise, all the other questions. Can you please share the list of open programs? So what we will do for all our partner regions over here, once the webinar is complete, then we will be sending you the presentation along with the program matrix in which all the details related to the admission requirements have been mentioned. You can definitely go through it on your emails, and please contact india.admissions@unbc.ca if you have got any other queries. Mehak, you can please write down your details in the chat box so that everyone can copy paste it.
Yeah, so right now there's a question in the chat box asking for open programs for September and January 2022. Our general entry programs, meaning our Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor of Science, and Bachelor of Planning are all considered general entry, which means that they're open programs for admission right now. Now, if the students, if you believe that, hey, you know what, the students are still a little bit worried about September, they want to apply for January, they can, but still get the application in, because right now we don't have a cap. But if there's too many applications, I can foresee that there will be a cap. You don't want to be the last students getting an application in and finding out that we aren't able to admit them for January 2020 or January 2022, sorry. I'm still last year right now. I still can't believe we're living in a pandemic. That's why.
Yeah, it is. And the condition is a little not favorable for us, but I believe that we'll all come out through it. And our students, even though they cannot travel, they can definitely start online. That is one of the best options that the Canadian government has allowed to all the students since the pandemic has started.
Yeah. And remember, if they are interested of getting a postgraduate work permit after, because our program is a 4-year program, even if they do 2 years at home online, they can still be eligible for postgraduate work permit as long as they come for the last 2 years for PR or for the rest of the degree.
Yeah. And also, just to conclude, that there are many questions related to MBA. So MBA is one of the programs which is only open for one intake. The next intake that we'll be having is August 2022. We will be starting the program very soon, and you can you can send in your applications to india.admissions@unbc.ca. We will check the application, and it is actually based on case to case basis, even though there are standard requirements which we will send it to you on the email. But Mehak, you can let everyone know what are the requirements for MBA once again.
Okay, so for our MBA requirement is, first of all, MBA for in UNBC has been designed for our working professionals. That's the one of the best thing. And we have only one intake available, that is August. And we are planning to open it maybe coming September for the August 22 intake applications. So in terms of the admission requirements, we are accepting 3-year bachelor degree and 4-year bachelor degree. But if it's a 3-year bachelor degree, then students should be affiliated with NAC. The bachelor degree should be affiliated with NAC. In terms of the admissions particular percentage, so your overall percentage for bachelor's should be first division, but we are calculating on the basis of last 2 years of your bachelor degree. The minimum requirement is 65. The maximum can be 80s, 90s, depending upon the candidate. And along with this, managerial experience is mandatory. So 3 years of managerial experience is mandatory. So managerial experience over here means students should have supervised a team. Along with this, 3 letter of recommendation, 1 letter from academics, 2 letter from professional world. And SOP is mandatory. Your transcripts are mandatory. Your resume is mandatory. Now, the resume which I want to explain over here is it has to be a very detailed resume, because I believe resume is the one point of the contact for even for the MBA department to know more about that student, what the student has been doing from so far, and what is the job activity which the student has been performing. So along with this, yes, we are accepting IELTS 6.5, not less than 6. For August 21 intake, we were accepting Duolingo also. So Richard, I'm not sure about like for August 22, we will be accepting Duolingo or not. So yeah, so this is the minimum requirement for MBA program. We have 2 in campuses available for MBA. One is in Prince George, another one is in Vancouver, Langara.
Perfect. I don't think I can add anything else. That was everything that's required. Just to add, our MBA program is very selective, even though if you meet the requirements and you apply, does not mean you will get in, because it is for working professional. And we do try to make sure that we have the best mix of students to be able to enrich the MBA program, to help each other out, to share their working experience. Our MBA is unique because it does not require GMAT, but it does require heavily on the student's experience. So this is why the work experience is very required. If we get 1 year of batches of too many accountants, we may only accept half of the accountant students because we want to make sure that cohort is very multicultural in terms of their experience and multifaceted types of industry. So this is why our MBA is a little bit different. In terms of tuition, is roughly about $40,000 for the year. We don't have any specialization. It is a general MBA, but the students are able to take some graduate programs courses if they wish to in environmental sustainabilities and whatnot. So that is possible as well. But yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to India.admission and then we can go from there. I will probably be hosting another MBA session when it's closer to accepting application in September. That's usually when it starts. The deadline for the MBA is generally December 15th of every year for the next intake. So we'll definitely do a webinar to let you guys know about that. In regards to one of the other questions, can you please confirm the number of classes in a week? That is actually not possible because the students select the number of courses they pick. So it's not like going to school in a college or say in a set course. The students can select the number of courses they want to take. Some will take 3, some will take 4. So that will really depend.
And I would also like to say one thing that we will be hosting another webinar on 11th of May, and that will also focus a lot on settlement opportunities as well. So with every webinar, we'll come up with something new that will make your recruitment very, very simpler and your counseling more and more effective for your students.
So Poonam, you said what will be the major course module if there's no specialization? Because it's a general MBA, they will go through marketing, accounting, economics, business strategy, MIS, database, business analytics. These are the general MBA courses that the students will take. So because there's no specialization, meaning that they're not specialized in healthcare or in engineering MBA, that's what I understand when you ask for specialization, not about the MBA general program, because the general MBA that we have allows students to branch off to different parts of specialization. For example, we had a MBA student that did not do HR. Now he is a HR manager at one of the biggest native Indian tribe in Prince George right now. So he did not do well he did not take HR. He's not a CHRP, but the MBA and the general MBA provided him a foundation of how to get that and to be able to do his job in the HR department. Same thing in marketing. If they're an accountant and they never had experience, the MBA will give them a foundation of what marketing is so they can step into a marketing role and not feel lost.
Richard, thank you so much for providing this wonderful information. There is one question that has been come up from my agents. That is like, we just discussed about that math upgrader point. So could you please help us to know about, like, as you discussed that, there will be additional fees for math upgrader. So like, will this additional fees will be adjusted in their tuition fee, or there is some another charges which the student would need to pay?
So to clarify, students who do not have math, they do not pay additional fees for it. It will be part of their tuition fee. Okay, it will be part of the degree program as part of their electives that they can choose as math. So that will be one of their elective program. So there's no additional charge. It's still part of that tuition. So it'll be part of the 120 credits that you need to be able to graduate to a degree program. Okay, that is where we are hoping that math will be here at UMBC for. So when you say additional fees, I don't really understand how that works. It's not like an extra subject that you have to take. It will be part and parcel of your degree program. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yes. So,
And is the MBA open? No, the MBA deadline has been closed for September intake. Usually the deadline is December 15th. Any other questions? I love answering questions. I'm also on like 4 cups of coffee right now, so I maybe seem a little hyper than usual. So please excuse my like jerkiness.
I think we've answered most of the questions, and we would really like to invite everyone for our next webinar.
We have a raised hand.
Yeah.
Allow her to talk or him to talk?
Yeah.
Couple raised hands.
Pallavi, I am allowing. Yeah. Pallavi, you can ask your question, please.
Nobody wants to unmute themselves and talk now?
Maybe.
Come on, guys. I'm not that scary. So to answer Rakhak question, tuition is $40,000.
Hello.
Yeah, hi Pallavi.
Hi, good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a question. I have a student. He has done BTech, but passing off year is 2020, right? And he only want to apply for the MBA. So can we apply for the January 2022 intake? But he don't have experience. He got 7 overall ban.
No, work experience is mandatory. 3 years of work experience, and that too managerial work experience.
Okay.
And the deadline is gone. We only have one intake, September 2022. And the deadline is usually December 15th of the previous year.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you like to say anything about the MIS and the computer science program, Richard, which we did cover in one of the slides?
Yeah. The MIS program is a very unique program at UMBC because it combines commerce and also computer science together. So if you have a parent that go, hey, I want my student to do business, but the student's really interested in computer science, this is the best marriage of both worlds because they learn both. And right now in British Columbia and Canada, we are lacking people with these skill sets to do business analytics or to be a system analyst or even to be a network administrators. So there is a shortage of these type of skill sets in British Columbia, and the shortage will be up to 2030. So students who come now, graduate with this program, same with computer science, their job outcome will be really good moving forward in the future. One of our recent grad from the computer science program, they have a job of $85,000 working at the hospital here, helping them with their IT department stuff. So that is actually higher than what I get paid. So I wish I took MIS or computer science when I went to school, but I'm a little too old for that now, apparently.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining in. We'll be having another webinar on 11th of May, and it will come up with more and more information also related to the PR options once you study from Prince George UNBC. So I would request everyone to join in. That will be a very informative webinar. So Richard, would you like to conclude the webinar?
Yes, I want to thank you guys all for joining us today. I do understand the situation in India is not doing so well. So please, everybody stay safe. Without you guys, I won't have a job as a recruiter. So I need you guys as much as you guys need me. So please stay safe. And I do hope that we meet each other and break bread together and learn about each other's culture and whatnot, because this is how we do multiculturalism and also how we connect the world. So stay safe, stay healthy, and I look forward to meeting all of you guys one day.
Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.